Hello, everybody, and welcome to ReGen D&D Rewind, where a couple of us ReGen D&D players talk about the game we played this last week. Today, joining me is Mongoose the Second.
I'm
Eamonn?
technically the first. He stole my name.
Not our DM Mongoose, but our player, who of course plays the ever popular rogue Eamonn.
Eamon.
Eamonn.
Well, in my mind, I see it as a Ammon.
Eamon. Like you're going with the full
Like an Irish,
Irish
Celtish
thing,
kind
yeah.
of. Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so of course, if you guys are not familiar with the show, we play some random game while we talk D&D, so we are starting a new campaign of Civilization 6. And so we'll be able to progress on this while we're chatting, but mainly, we're focusing on D&D. So this last week we had our second D&D session, and how would you feel about giving just a little bit of a review, like a summary of what happened this week?
Well, this week was kind of a little bit of an interesting one. We started off just finishing up that battle where we saved the two nobles, the lord and the oh god, what was his official title? I can't even remember his official title. We had a lord and some other noble. Let's just go with that.
Right.
And of course my super stinky rogue who likes lots of treasure tried to steal their purses, and that did not go well.
And it rarely does.
Yeah. I was like, well, this guy is supposed to be one of the best fighters in all the world, and I'm trying to steal his gold, and he's not falling for the I don't know where it went trick. So here you go. Please don't kill me. Have a good day.
Right. And he kind of gave you the side eye, as I recall. But
yeah, it was kind of like the look of like, you really want to go this route, and it was like, no, I really don't.
Yeah, take it back. I take it back.
Take it back. It's all yours. And from there we started marching on and taking our guys towards the. Sorry, wow, I watched your review last week, and you're right. This is very difficult to play a game and to be able to talk about the D&D at points when you're like, wait, what do I need to do? But of course, then we started walking down and heading back to Krench's home team, which for the life of me I can never. Probably one of my what's the word I'm looking for? Biggest weaknesses when I play D&D, especially something in a campaign like this where the world is made up and brand new. I struggle to retain the names and whatnot.
Sure, and I think that's pretty normal. I've seen a lot of people. They like to take notes because they're focusing on keeping a good idea of what's going on in the world around them. But I personally, I'm not big on note taking when it comes to that kind of stuff. I don't know. I just think that I'll probably remember the important stuff, and a lot of the little stuff. It's not usually going to make a huge difference in the game.
Well, I find when I take notes, I miss, like, I'll take notes on like 5% of the conversation, and I'll miss the other 95.
Right.
And so it's just like it's kind of become a point with me where it's like, okay, it's better to how to explain this. Most of them.
Right.
So I just tend not to do the notes. Ooh, what is that? Okay. So yeah, we get to your town. What is the name of the town?
I see. I don't even know the name of the town. I should.
Right.
I should,
okay.
I don't.
So, and what is your lord's name? Some
Sir Baldwin.
We're gonna go.
I could just bring it up, like.
Well, hold on. Let me look and see if
here.
I do have. We do not have it listed. Since I have Roll20 up on the second monitor right now, it's like, oh, let me look, and we don't have it there. Maybe that's something we should add. But so we get there, and your lovely town has been ransacked, and Well, ransacks are on work. Anybody who's between the ages of like 18 and 55 has been enslaved, basically.
Right. Yeah, they'd taken in. They had their lips pierced, which I thought was weird.
Well, and I think I see, obviously not as my player doesn't see this because he has an intelligence of 7, doesn't really understand anything. Um,
Fair.
but I think I see it as like it's a possibly a marking system to denote their skills and whatnot, whether they're just general labor or skilled labor or whatnot. And I have a feeling it's something like that. Maybe the value of the slave, something along those lines, if that makes sense.
All right, so I think what we're heading towards is a Shavigny. Shavnigi? I don't know, something like
Sure,
that.
sure.
Sure, yeah. That's what I'm reading. So I can't seem to attack these scouts anywhere. Okay. I mean, it's just not. I don't have the range. These guys are like super slow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just chase them around and see if I can get them to leave. Wait, where'd my scout go? They get crushed.
Did he die?
Oh no, there he is. Lighting up like he's. All right.
So yeah, that was an interesting development. Seeing any and all reinforcements we thought we might be able to get to help with these people being gone.
Right.
Thanks a lot, sneaky DM.
Yeah, we arrived back at the town. That was kind of interesting. I kind of was expecting to at least have, some semblance of, of
relief, reinforcements, any of
right.
the above.
Yeah, something there. But boy, they just, they it was very unexpected for it to be ransacked. I guess I should have known because we were basically leaving.
It unprotected.
Right, but
yeah.
Sure enough, they just got their asses handed to them, and it makes sense. Sir Andre's sitting there, broken leg, no valets or anything.
That was the name.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I looked it up. I really, really know my backstory, as you can tell.
Yeah, trust me. Brian's or Mongoose, I should say, he's yelling at me, going, "Where's your backstory, dude?" Like he and I have gone over it, and we have the rough, but I don't have the specifics down.
All right, you haven't put it down onto paper yet.
Yeah, but it's also like I've been trying to feel it out, and I have an idea for my character. And I do like him. It's just trying to get those little itty bitty details down. That's kind of eluding.
Yeah.
I know where I started. I know where I'm at now. I'm just trying to fill in that middle ground.
Right. So yeah, and then we set on our the rest of our adventure. Essentially, we're gonna go ahead and continue on with the caravan and make sure they get safely to safely south to more protected lands from the elves and from everything that was coming down onto not just Andre's keep, but the rest, the whole part of our country, really.
Yep.
And it seemed to be going well until we ran into a couple of monsters that had burrowed out from under the ground. That was an interesting experience.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? What's happening?
I'm like, okay.
And most importantly, I didn't have the magical log with me.
Right.
That was very annoying the first session, where I just could not roll anything other than a 5.
Yeah, and sometimes the rolls are just not that great. You kind of just expect that to happen from time to time, but that doesn't make it any less frustrating, for sure.
Yeah, no.
But it's just level 2 problems, really.
Well, that's just part of the game too. Like
right.
those moments, I've played God, Brian, we started playing D&D 18 years ago. You know, and I've played several games since then and whatnot. And those games are the ones that become the most fun.
Yeah.
So, as much as it was annoying, I'm also going to remember I think we're all going to remember the game where the super sneaky roguey assassin just could not be sneaky and could not even stab anybody.
Yeah, those are always really fun moments.
Yeah. So, especially with the backstory of my character, how sneaky he is. Wait, what do you mean he can't even get through the woods?
Right.
Ah.
All right. Where am I going to look to settle another one?
You're already there. I hate you.
What?
Settling a new one.
Yeah. Yeah, it told me real quick to settle a second.
Yeah, I'm a little behind right now.
Aha.
It's
How do I actually... Yeah, this way.
what are you trying to do?
Camera, like, moving the camera. It's like...
Yeah. Just click anywhere where you don't have a unit or a town or something, and you can left click and move it easily. If that makes sense.
Okay. Oh, it's middle click. Okay. It's just one. It's not click and drag. Weird.
For me, it's click and drag. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's probably some setting or something like that.
Yeah, probably. But anyway.
So yeah, those things popped out of the ground, and those were very, very interesting to deal with.
And just some of the most frustrating times in me for playing this game so far, which, you know, of course I'm new, but still, you know, it just feels so bad because I'm so far away from the combat every time. You know what I realized, though, is I actually miscalculated my movement for those.
Okay.
When I was on horseback, my base movement speed would have been 60. And I was treating it like my base movement speed was 40.
Interesting. So you should have been getting an extra 10 feet because we were in difficult terrain, so movement's cut in half.
Well, but yeah, basically, I was moving as if I could go 20 with my regular movement and 20 with my dash. When in actuality it should have been 30 and 30.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm really excited about the prospect of mobile. I think I'm going mobile at level 4, so I can move through a little better. But you know, ultimately we'll see. We'll see what I want to do. I'm still very tempted by the heavier damage one, but I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I would certainly. You got time to look at it because it's going to be probably 2 sessions, maybe 3, depending, before we level up. You know, so you definitely have some time to play your character, see what you like, things like that.
Okay, because if I'm just basing it solely right now on, you know, what am I struggling with the most when it comes to actually playing the game, well then it's, you know, it's 100% movement. I'm struggling so much with movement and getting engaged in the actual fighting, especially at the beginning of the fighting.
Yeah. You're struggling to get there. Like once you're there, you're fine.
Well, Noir, we're talking about our new D&D campaign that we've started. We're 2 sessions in. We've been streaming that on Tuesday nights, 6 to 10. So, yeah, we're talking about this last session that we had on Tuesday. That's the whole premise of the show. ReGen D&D Rewind. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I've been struggling with that, so I'm looking at maybe trying to do more movement. But I don't know. You know, ultimately, we'll see. We'll see when I actually get settled in to, see what actually ends up being the most reasonable choice at that point.
Yeah, and that's like for me, I've pretty much settled on Sentinel. Um, as much as I can really use the ability score improvement, going with the vision that I have for this character, Sentinel is definitely the route I should be taking.
Yeah.
Because he's, even though is a assassin and whatnot, he's really more of an opportunist. I'm pronouncing that incorrectly.
Opportunist.
Yeah, when it comes to combat, he's kind of sneaking in there and like, oh, you have your back turned to me. Let me
Right.
stab you in the back. You know what I mean? Um, did I just meet somebody? Oh, hey, look, I found you.
Aha. He's now gonna look to instantly destroy me.
No, I don't really have enough to do anything right now. Somebody declares war on me, I'm just gonna cry a little.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Two diplomatic delegations pending. Oh, there we go.
Yes. And you're about to get a third one. So, I mean, he's really a opportunity, takes his opportunities where he sees them, gets in there, kind of, okay, you're going after that and whatnot. And so with that, I kind of see him, what's words I'm looking for, hanging around the barbarian, because everybody's going to be focused on him and not Eamonn.
Right. Well, and that's kind of the idea of. Yeah, Noir never likes any of the plays I make, so he doesn't like the where I just decided to settle. I thought it would be ironic to settle where I settled, but anyway. But yeah, I'm looking
Oh,
forward.
desert town. They could be good if you get Petra built, then that desert town will be booming. Sorry, I'm kind of watching our stream at the same time. It's kind of cool.
That's all right. That's okay. I'm starting to see what all's going on with you. So.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, maybe I haven't found you as much as I thought I have.
I can tell you right now, you have not.
I have.
You're on the way, but you're still what? 1, 2, 3, 12 hexes away.
All right.
So, I mean, I will tell you to make it easy. I'm to the southeast.
Fair enough. And these barbarians aren't even attacking me. I'm a little confused. Like you've got a set of range. Like why aren't you throwing rocks at me?
Yeah, in the beginning rounds, barbarians can kind of be weird, and if they're not attacking you, be thankful.
So now we're talking about Civ barbarians as opposed to
Correct. Sorry.
Me and my character.
But yeah, back to D&D talk.
Right. So we eventually I made it in, even though it took me about like double the time it maybe should have. Oh god, choose a pantheon. I don't want to read all these. We're talking about D&D. I'm just gonna close my eyes and hit that one. All right. But eventually I got there, and right around when I get there, you guys killed it. It's like, okay, well, it's a fun game.
Yeah.
Well,
and then of course we killed the one, and then what? 3 more pop up.
Well, no, 2 more popped up, and one of them popped up right under my freaking horse.
That's right.
I was like, oh, well, all right. I guess this is what we're doing now.
Yeah, we're gonna play like that. Okay.
Yeah, so then I'm like, all right, cool. One popped up right in front of me. I'm gonna go hit it. He's like, and Mongoose is like, no, wait, it's top of the round, so you're gonna have to wait. I'm like, what?
What? What do you mean?
What?
No.
But no, there's nothing to do on my turn, and so that's why that happened. I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll just wait over here. But that's just how it goes sometimes, you know. Like I
And that
understand.
is like, well, even
I
with
got
games,
unlucky in the initiative order, and
yeah.
yeah.
Well, and that's where even session 1. I mean, I did 1 point of damage, I think, for the entire round of combat. It was something stupid, you know. And there's gonna be games like that, and unfortunately, like that's the way the die rolls. You live by it, and you die by it.
So is this an impassable mountain? Can I get around this? No. Okay, it'll take me a while to move. Actually, I think I can just cue him to go. I just want you to go there. The game's always waiting on me.
I move pretty quickly, and I don't have a lot going on right now, so my turns take very little time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm. Ooh.
Oh, what the hell? Come on.
Decided to come across the river and attack my scout. I didn't think they were gonna do that.
I'm having a slight barbarian issue going on right now.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of barbarians down over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start actually building an army now.
Promotion, you say? Okay. He's gonna have to run away before he does any promotions. Is he gonna die?
Yeah.
So
Oh, he's not feeling good at all.
I gotta say though,
going east.
I gotta say though, when we got back into the regular town, I was.
What the?
Oh. Man, where are these barbarians coming from? Oh hey. There's a barbarian scout next to my new desert city.
Yeah, I have a barbarian army heading towards my capital.
I think we're gonna go here.
Unfortunately, they're pretty close.
We'll just scout out and make sure everything's copacetic over here.
I'm doing my best to save your scout.
Thank you. Did he die? Oh.
Who?
I wonder if I could attack it. No.
I wouldn't recommend it.
No, my scout can't do anything against that. I'm gonna back up to here and see if I can't promote him to a ranger. Yeah. All right. Choose civic. By the way, I was happy at least when I got back to my town, even though so many people had died and stuff. That well, I got to get my great axe for free. That was nice.
Very nice. And then here's the part where I did find interesting. They killed the blacksmith.
Yeah.
Like straight out. He said, "Oh, I'm a blacksmith." Dead. So now does that mean that they're trying to... My initial thought as a player was, okay, they're trying to go through and take out anybody that can create weapons or whatnot and prevent whatchamacallit, people that can help create an uprising of some capacity.
Right.
Dude, what is going on with all the barbarians? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy right now. Not gonna lie.
I know of at least 7 units around my capital.
Oh jeez. Hello.
I have 2 art.
And that's a full battalion right there.
So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm going. I'm thinking that they're going through and they're trying to prevent any weapons being made to help prevent an uprising as they collect all their dirty, dirty slaves. And for those that don't know, my character hates the elves due to an unfortunate incident when I was younger. But, that's what happens when they murder your family.
Well, yeah, and
I shouldn't say my character knows, and I'm doing quotey fingers right now, that they're dead. Who knows? They may not be. Brian's a sneaky DM, and you never know which way he's gonna go.
Right. Could be anything.
Yeah, it really could.
So I get my great axe for free, and now I'm swinging for a D12, so that's kind of nice.
That is nice.
I'm pretty happy with that part of it at least. Oh look, another set of barbarian scouts.
Yep.
Hmm.
And by the way, I don't know if you know this with Civ. If a barbarian scout spots your city and you'll see a little red exclamation point, he's then going to go start running towards wherever his camp is, and they're just going to start spewing out units that come raid your territory. So if you see that, you want to get rid of them and kill them before you can get back there.
Good to know.
Unfortunately, it took me way too long to learn that player.
Please no Tundra Town. You gotta understand, Noir. I don't play this game. I'm pretty much just picking random stuff. This is all an excuse to talk about D&D.
Yep. Just a mutual game that we, after comparing what we have and what we could play, what we found.
This was the one we decided to go with. However,
I do like.
it is a fun game. I do like it. It's just it's kind of a relaxing chit chat kind of game.
Yeah. Well,
If I was playing it alone, I'd be constantly falling asleep.
you'd be surprised, but it's always possible.
All right, so I pretty much summarized most of what went on. We started to march south, and then we killed the things that popped out of the ground. I got to do one whole attack for that entire combat, but it was a pretty good hit. It was like a 13 HP hit. I was pretty happy with that at least. But then we came around to the barricade is where we finished that off.
Yeah, the barricades. I want to know who knows Krench the Wrench. And of course, Brian did that on purpose just to try to have some, whatchamacallit, drama in the game and whatnot. He loves doing that. I hate it.
Sure, have a good place to leave off.
Yeah. Drive suspense and make us all be like, is it Tuesday yet? Is it Tuesday yet?
Tuesday yet? I want to know. I want to know why this guy called him Krench the Wrench. I want to know. I mean, I've done my backstory, so I know, but I'm not gonna.
What?
I mean, I did my backstory. I wrote my own backstory, so. I mean, I left some of it a mystery for him to solve, but,
Okay. Interesting.
Let's see, so I've got 2 builds left.
See, and that's another thing I've been struggling with. My character is very much a recluse, if you will, where he doesn't get attached to people for reasons.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out, like, do I want to tell the rest of the party, the PCs, like, hey, this is my character, this is why he does this is why all that? Or do I want to have it more where, no, you have to figure it out the same as your character?
Right.
So it's a tough choice.
Yeah, and I like that Mongoose. Oh, wait a minute, this is a barbarian settler? I didn't even know they had settlers.
They can capture them from other players, including you.
Oh, that's mine that they captured. Oh.
The truth comes out.
Yes. Yeah, well, now I'm going to have to go after them because they stole my settler. Yeah, I mean, I'm making an archer. I've got some stuff over here. I'll figure it out. So where were we? Yeah. So now the question is, what we think's gonna come up. Oh, damn it! You guys are capturing all my shit.
Yep.
Bastards.
Barbarians are a pain in the ass.
went up and grabbed my builder too. They got my builder and my. All right. Well, let's see. How long until we got the archer up here? One turn. All right. Well, that's something.
I love archers. I think they are, especially in the early game, I think they are very, very, very strong.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know what Genghis Khan did with the bow and arrow? I mean, come on.
Yeah, right?
Shit. So, what do you think? What do you think is gonna happen next? What do you like? What are you looking forward to?
Um,
Oh, look,
you know,
archers.
personally, I'm looking forward to 4th level when I take Sentinel.
Oh
That's
yeah.
going to that's going to cement my character and how I see he is in combat, if you will. Because then once Sentinel has pens, I mean, I'll have my sneak attack damage. And, I gain sneak attack, obviously, um, anytime somebody is in melee with combat within 5 feet.
Right.
So, and especially now at 3rd level, I get 2d6 for that, which is going to be nice. I also, starting now, 3rd level, sorry, I'm mixing all this up in my head. Anytime I face off against somebody and they have yet to take a turn in combat, I get my sneak attack damage.
Nice.
Right. So, and of course I have alert, so I have a +8, I want to say, to my initiative off the top of my head. So it's like I feel confident that I should be regularly going first against the enemy. But then once I take Sentinel, anytime they try to move by me, even if they take disengage, I get an attack of opportunity. Anytime they attack anybody other than me, and I'm in melee range, I get an attack of opportunity. Which is why I have a feeling my character is going to be hanging around that big giant orc in the party.
Right.
Just
yeah.
feel like, here, attack him, stabby, stabby, stabby. Yeah, keep attacking him, stabby, stabby, stabby.
Right.
So, but that'll work out. Also looking at it from the meta build, that'll work out as well because your guy, I'm going to be trying to take to flank him every time, which means you'll have the flanking bonuses. So.
Yeah, that'll be helpful.
Yeah.
I do have Reckless that I can always take if I need advantage and don't have flanking, but, it also gives advantage to everything that hits me, so that's not ideal, but, in most situations, especially, like, in a situation where I'm sitting there battling against the, the big giant worms, like, giving one or two of them advantage on me probably isn't a huge deal.
Right.
Oh, I think I almost killed it. Come on. Whoa, what? Oh, there's a...
What do you got going on?
In Baltimore, there's a fist over it.
Okay, so when the fist is showing, that means that you're losing loyalty and you're running the risk of your city revolting
Okay.
and becoming an independent city. The fastest way to fix that is to go through and get a governor, which if you look up at the top, it looks like a hand with a pen in it, little tab button. Not on the city, actually, top left of the screen. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. To the right, second from the right.
Second from
Looks, yeah, it looks like the hand is going to write something next to the cloud. 2 more to the right.
Wait, what? Oh, second
2 more
from the right. I got you.
Yes. No, that's from the left.
Okay, is it the purple one right here, the civics tree, or is
that
it
one?
the
That one right
governors?
there. Right. So you don't have any governors yet, it looks like.
No.
So you get those by your civics, which is the purple. Okay. And anytime you see the little blue ticket item on the civics that has the hand with like writing a pen, that gives you a governor title, which allows you to get one. You throw one of them in, it gives you a boost to your loyalty and could help you prevent that town from being turned over.
All right. Well, it's time for me to eat my fortune cookie. Let's see. What is this?
Oh, good
Share
lord.
your good news with others.
All right, what do you got? Good news.
Congratulations, everyone. I'm pregnant. No, I'm kidding. I don't have any good news. What a terrible fortune. Alright. Alright, you damn barbarians.
I know.
Leave my shit be, will ya? So, some of the things I wonder as we're
Okay.
playing all this with Goose is if we're missing stuff along the way.
There's always that possibility with him. Um, Goose is very, very sneaky on dropping hints, and if you get them, you get them, and if you don't, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, but I've played a couple campaigns with them now. It's funny because as many games as we've played, we've never played a game together where we're both PCs.
Hmm.
Every time we've played, either I was the DM or he was the DM. But with his, uh, he he likes to have a challenging game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And he will help if we're just absolutely stumped and we don't know where to go in a campaign or something. He'll drop a hint, but otherwise, it's up to us to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's some small details that he said that we didn't pick up on. Like obviously the rings that they were talking about putting in the lips, that's a big detail. But he's so good at being descriptive on what's going on that you tend to overlook a lot of it. And I know there's something we had to have missed. It might be a small detail, but there's some. I may have to go through and watch our previous two games and just see what I could pick up.
Well, for instance, like when Merrick woke up in the middle of the night while he was on watch, and
Yeah.
there was something out there apparently, but maybe we just didn't roll high enough perception to see it.
Correct.
Yeah. So I'm like, maybe if I had decided, okay, well, we're just gonna go ahead and go on out there, and we're gonna see. Is there anything? Is there anything out here?
Yep. And as a player, I want to go through and say, okay, whenever that happens, the automatic rule is we wake the whole party.
Okay.
But as a PC, um, you know, you got to go through and say, I don't even know that happened because you didn't tell me. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Say what?
Yeah. Sorry.
No,
Other
all
half of
good.
the fortune cookie.
Okay. So yeah, and for anybody who's watching who hasn't played D&D, I mean, the hardest thing is you got to play in character. Um, just because I know Krench went through and woke up in this situation, was woken up, they thought they heard something, they did a quick little search, whatnot, in the middle of the night, didn't turn anything up, they went back to sleep. But I know that as a player, but my character who I'm playing has no idea that happened because they never told us.
Right.
So, and that's where it can be difficulty. So it's like, yeah, I want to go through and say like, yeah, I think as as a party, we need to do this. But as a player or as a PC, I don't even know this happened, so I can't even technically suggest it.
Hey, I got my builder back. Yay.
Nice. Builders are underrated in my opinion. Alrighty. Now I have a small little army of archers. I'm going to start clearing out some of these barbarian camps.
Right.
I hate barbarians.
That's okay. I'll try not to take it personally.
No, I do think as a group, though, we have a good party going.
Yeah, I think one of the rules we need to try and stick to, it's like you said, armchair generaling is really not, okay in most scenarios, and especially in the moment. But I think one of the things we do need to agree upon as a group is we try and stick together more often than split up, because it is getting kind of frustrating if a couple of people get attacked and there's no real way for us to respond to that well
Correct.
from across the map, at that point.
Well, and that's where it can be. I'm assuming you're referring to when you were trying. We were all insect, or that's what I'm just going to call it, the insect. And you were trudging behind, trying to get up there.
Right.
Yeah. And I certainly agree with you, and we definitely don't want to create separation.
Right.
Because that's going to end badly. So yeah, I agree with that, but at the same time, it's hard because if your character is one that just plunges into battle, drawbacks be damned, then you got to play that. You know what I mean?
Right. But, I figure if all four of us are at least traveling together, then, if the worms pop up in a different part of the map, at least then, we're not singled out, we're not separated.
Correct.
So.
No, and yeah, definitely like, okay, let's not split our group and be like, hey, two of us are going to go do this, two of us go do that. You know what I mean? Screw you, Shaka. That's a terrible deal.
And it's little things like, okay, well, you guys are traveling together, where do you want to go and how do you want to be arranged? Yeah. So it's like, oh, what would my character be doing? It's like, no, to think, let's stay in generally the same spot,
Yeah. Well, like my character is really more kind of, being the roguish assassin and whatnot. He does want to draw attention, but at the same time, he's the scout, if you will, of the group.
Right.
So I think I'm going to probably have him be more, what's the word I'm looking for? More prevalent as far as like, hey, I'll lead,
Right.
With our party, I kind of see Merrick and Eamonn being the scouts and being in the lead on everything, with you guys bringing up the middle and or rear, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how many opportunities for combat we're going to have, especially with me apparently knowing all of these people that are...
By the way,
knowing somebody behind this barricade.
I hate you all for the stats you guys rolled.
Yes, yeah.
That's and fair. The worst part is, like, I went through and rolled, and I didn't. This was the stats I have for Eamonn, or is my second roll. No, sorry, my third. We had to re-roll my stats 3 times. I don't know if you heard this or not. Did I ever tell you about this or no?
Yeah, I think you did.
All right. So the first time he had okay stats. Like, I didn't have a negative anything, but everything was like 13s.
Right. And that's not terrible, but it's definitely not ideal.
Correct. And so it was kind of like, do I keep him? Do I roll? Do I keep him or do I re-roll? And in the end, of course, obviously, I decided to re-roll. Well, the second time was abysmal, to the point where I didn't have a single stat that gave me even a +1.
Yeah, and that so nothing higher than an 11. And
correct.
And see, the issue with that
like
is that
3 or 4 of them in the negatives.
Yeah, Goose had given us a deal when we were making our characters that we could be allowed to re-roll our stats, but if we decided to re-roll them, we were going to be stuck with the second grouping, is what he had told me before we started. Now, yeah. Of course, I rolled my stats so well, it wasn't even a thought to re-roll them. But
and I also had assumed he was going to go through and do what he's done in the past games, where it was you can either, no matter what, you got to keep the second re-roll, but you could either A, re-roll one stat, or B, re-roll all of them. And he didn't quite do it this time. That's fine. I'm all for it. Whatever's going to give the flavor to the game and whatnot.
Right.
Uh, oh man,
Wait a
I am
minute. That was
just.
my whole movement. I can't even.
Welcome to Stiff.
Thanks, man. That was rough. So.
So,
Yeah, I
let's
can
go.
move there and get a plantation.
So in the end, though, Brian was like, "Okay, like I don't want you to take a character that's really not going to be able to do anything at all." He's like, "So keep the 7 because that was my lowest stat I had rolled." And he's like, "You can re-roll everything else." So in the end, that's what I did. And that's when I came up with the weird stats of Eamonn, who is what, a 7, 16, 14, 8, 12, and 10.
Yeah. And so nice. The player card's showing right now. You guys can all see it. But yeah,
Oh, is it?
mostly mostly positive overall. Definitely a couple of really bummer stats in there, but you know,
Yeah.
I
It
think you can
just,
work with that.
he's really good at being sneaky and anything involving dexterity, and he's just pretty much, at best, meh with everything else. I think we described, a female halfling child has a higher strength than Emin.
Right. That's
And
pretty
as the
rough.
chat, like, what is it? Isn't there some animals that have a higher stat, higher intelligence, or something like that?
Yeah, for sure.
But it's also when you get stats like this, that's when D&D really kind of shines. Those can be some of the most fun characters to play.
Yeah, that makes sense. The ones that are quirks or that have quirks, I should say.
Yeah. So, and it's even funny. Like I went through and we are actually talking to Brian. For those that don't know, Mongoose's real name is Brian.
Mongoose is Brian.
Uh,
Brian is Mongoose,
I
aka
mean,
the DM.
it shouldn't be that way since the evil little bastard stole my name and has turned it into his online persona, and now he can't do nothing about it. Um, but what are you gonna do? But anyways, man, I forgot where I was even going with this. I am tired. I've been up since 5 a.m. today, so. What was I saying leading into all this?
You were talking about your stats mostly.
There's something specific I was trying to go with.
All right.
Yeah, I can't remember. You know what's going to happen as soon as we end this? It's going to pop up in my mind.
Yeah, you'll remember.
Yeah. So, but no, all in all, oh, that's right. I remember now. So, because how do you go through and be like, okay, my character has 7 in intelligence. How does that affect him? Well, one of my character's backstories is he had really, like, there's not really a formal education, let's face it, but he really did not have that at all.
Right.
So anytime I go through and sell or purchase anything, um, there is basically going to be a chance that the merchant can swindle me out of more money.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think we said there's like a 10% chance, and then he can get like an extra gold piece or something out of me or something like that. But just a fun little flavor way of let's see how we can affect things. So that'll be a fun component, especially when we start getting into large cities and towns when it's like, okay, well, I need new armor or I want a second sword. Because I was thinking about, I believe, yeah, we talked about it, where I was thinking about making Eamon go dual wielding so he can be higher armor class and whatnot. But ultimately, I just didn't see it being the character I envisioned. So I was like, all right, I can't do that.
Well, why don't you just get a second sword while you're in 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 uh in the keep area?
You mean we're at Andre's town?
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, but like in my mind, I should have asked. Rule number one: never assume. When you assume, bad things happen. And I just assumed since they killed the blacksmith, there wasn't going to be any more rapiers.
Yeah.
So, plus on top of that, since I don't have dual wielding, like I would need to, it would have to be a light weapon.
Because
So,
you just
and
don't
I
have
already,
the strength to, tote around a bunch of
I
different weapons.
really don't.
Instantly encumbered. Ah, shit.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but yeah, I'm actually really happy with the direction Eamon is going.
Good.
I wish he didn't have a magical log tied around his leg that first game when all I would do is roll a 5, a 5, a 5, a 5,
Yeah.
and did 1 point of damage the entire game. But it was fun. Whoa!
What?
I found a barbarian army. Let me phrase that. My scout found a barbarian army and it's
No,
currently
that is
turning
that
and
is
running.
that is my settler. Go away. Don't you do it. So mad.
Would you?
What? Hey, nice.
That's all right. I got a check coming. I'll give him back to you. If I was mean, I would settle him.
Yeah, right in the middle of my area. Yeah. And then...
Well, eventually he would lose loyalty, and I would put the city in the worst possible spot to where eventually he would lose loyalty, go to your empire, and then you would have to deal with the after effects of that.
That's just not nice.
No, I'm not going to do that. Oh. So yeah, I'm pretty. I'm excited for this campaign.
Oh yeah. I kind of wish we could play it more than we do, but I also understand we're all busy people and have busy schedules.
And it's also it's difficult for the DM. Like we only play for 3-4 hours, and his prep time is probably double that.
Right.
Because he needs to figure out like, okay, what kind of encounter? Like the insects was awesome because it was very, very different. Hold on, I'll be back in 1 second.
All right. And I'm sure Mongoose is out there listening to us, but for some reason he's just sitting back, not wanting to chat. That's all right. And envoy. Okay.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. I'm back.
That's all right.
Oh, I could be really mean right now. I could be terribly mean to you right now.
Yes,
I'm not going to, because I'm a nice guy, for the most part. Okay, not really, but...
Wait, declare war? Oh. I can't just
Are
take
you...
back mine, I guess.
No, I am gonna try to gift them to you.
Okay. Man, people in Baltimore really don't like living in Baltimore. It's like real life.
Right?
Bar Scout.
So yeah, it's I'm really curious to see who knows Krench the Wrench.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, or you could just tell me.
No, I can't do that. That wouldn't be fair.
Fine.
You're like, fine, fine. I guess you don't want these settlers back.
I'm not that mean. No. I mean, let's face it. I'm going to find out on Tuesday. So.
Well, maybe.
No, you don't understand. I'm going to find out on Tuesday.
I said I'm gonna find out.
It's not a question of I might.
Yeah, there's a good chance. There's a good chance we'll figure out more of my lovely backstory come Tuesday. Not a moment too soon. Let's see. Back over the mountain now?
You cannot attack over mountains.
Feels bad.
There is a unit that can later on, but not yet.
Fair enough.
Huh. I don't think I can gift you your settler.
Why did you take it?
I know. That's a whoopsie. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna wait till my next turn. Ignore this. I'm doing this so I can declare war on. Okay.
So, like Jeremy's just trying to slow play me.
No, I'm actually bringing the settler back over so you can capture it now that we're at war.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And in 10 turns, we're gonna go to peace.
Okay.
Since I kind of, goofed and stole your settler. My bad.
Just leave him there. My scout will take him next turn.
Alright.
Let's see. Well, I ran him up into a corner, and so now I'm going to run him the other way, I guess.
Interesting. So, and I don't know if you noticed, but Eamonn has a sword in the game.
I have not noticed.
He uses a rapier. And did you pay attention to the part about swords in
and
Galan
the lore,
there?
and that actually Goose had said that you had earned yours.
I did.
So seems like that would be part of your backstory.
It is. Oh, son of a bitch.
What?
Say what?
What?
Oh, I just I can finally build a industrial zone. But the spot I want to put it in, I haven't expanded to yet, and it's going to cost me 65 gold, and I do not have 65 gold. So it's like, oh, what am I going to do in the meantime?
Ooh, barbarian archers.
Oh, they suck.
Yeah, especially since I just walked up towards it.
Did we kill the barbarians over here?
I have... What did I create? Oh. There.
I am so excited. I have tomorrow off for the first time in like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you mean
was...
you're having a day off for the first time in 2.5 weeks?
Correct.
That is rough, my dude.
It is what it is. You kind of... It comes with the territory with my job.
Making overtime?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good. At least you're making bank.
Dude, I was making double time for quite a bit.
Shut up and give me money.
Yeah, right. Dude, and it was the worst part too. Is like, yeah, you remember session 1 where it was like, we don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, and da 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 da, and
Right.
that's why, because of the overtime I was working, I had no idea what time I was going to be home.
I don't really want to put my settlement in here so close. Maybe I'll try and walk it down over here. Guys didn't decide to attack me. Kind of nice. I think I'll just leave them be. Back in this general direction.
You know, I just glanced at yours. There are options within the games for quick combat and quick movement. If you go to the option screen, so like when your guys move, instead of just moving that kind of space, 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 like you'll click it to move and they'll go move all, all 4 spots at once. I don't know if you want that or not, but it is an option, so you're aware.
Okay. Tell these guys, that gotta run.
Did you find a bunch of barbarians?
Yeah. Well, just the one barbarian archer I had mentioned. Really.
They suck. Really?
Baltimore's still just not happy.
They never are.
Yeah.
So, somewhere there, on, if you look at Baltimore, it'll tell you how many turns until revolt.
Uh, 6 turns.
So, you have 6 turns to get a governor there, or to get its loyalty up.
I already have a governor there.
Oh, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in trouble. You're going to lose Baltimore.
Yeah. I have a governor there, and I have an archer sitting on it, which I think also helps.
You're going to, 1 turn prior, get the archer out of Baltimore.
Because then it changes with the city, doesn't it?
Yeah, you lose them, I believe.
Alright, well, maybe I should just
and
move
I'll tell you,
out
when they revolt, they're going to generate like 3 troops.
Yeah.
And if you're nearby, they're going to attack.
Yeah, I kind of want to take the city right back, though. But I don't know how that'll help, like...
Well, you'll need to have an army large enough there to be able to attack immediately. So, what troops do you have nearby?
That's okay, don't worry about it. We'll deal with that later. So, we've talked a little bit about your plans for level 4.
Correct.
Any further plans beyond that?
No. I have a few ideas on them. routes I want to go, possibly more into the assassin. I've also, the more and more I think about multi-classing, possibly to like, I can't do ranger because I'm not smart enough.
Yeah, you don't meet that requirement. That's a bummer.
Correct. Because that would be the natural multi-class for me, I feel like. Um, but even fighter, it's just my character is really built around the opportunity attacks, and not attacks of opportunity, but kind of like, oh, I see a weakness because he's not paying attention to me, I can sneak attack, that kind of it. And without, what the sorry, I'm getting upset, my guys suck. um and so multi-classing, I feel like won't give me what I need.
Right.
So it kind of becomes a point of like, okay, well, I'm gonna end up staying rogue, which is good because really I want that extra sneak attack damage.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much, as a rogue, every other level it goes up, I get an extra d6. So he's gonna stay being super sneaky. And even though he is technically listed as an assassin and whatnot, he's really a spy, if you will. And I don't know if you caught that with God, Prince Raoul.
Yeah.
With Prince Raoul, I'm kind of his personal spy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And for those that do not know the um, King, I just call him King Douchebag because I don't like the guy. Um, where the country is under attack, the king doesn't want to deal with the battle. He went off to some other, town, castle, and is living out, just being a whore and drinking the nights away, and gave
Being
orders
King
to his,
Robert from Game of Thrones.
yeah, um, and he gave orders to the prince, his brother, to not let the final town collapse due to elven might. Um, so that's our objective, and that's what I'm, his personal spy, really. And it was on a mission from him that's actually how I got awarded my sword, by the way.
Aha. All right.
Was from Prince Raoul.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. I'll leave how out, but
Sure. Don't want to spoil all of it.
correct. But yeah, I was awarded my. So in this world, swords are kind of like a status symbol. You had to be a lord or nobility or have done something of great importance. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
In order to be awarded the right to wear a sword and use one. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of proud with my character on that. It involved super sneakiness. And whenever I say super sneakiness, I automatically think of oh god, what was that movie with Adam Sandler where he ended up inheriting all the
Yeah.
money? You know what I'm talking about?
Mr. Deeds. Yeah.
Yes.
You've had a very
And
sneaky set.
that is exactly, every time I say super sneaky, I think of him. Without the foot fish.
Well, I mean, let's not rule anything out now.
Yeah. Can I make
But
peace with you yet? 2 more turns.
we'll be at peace eventually.
Yeah. So when you declare war, you have to wait 10 turns before you can make peace again.
Good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's been a little difficult for me to keep up with the storyline, just because I'm trying to remember names and places and whatnot. As I'm getting these to memory, Brian keeps talking, and suddenly I've missed a tiny little bit of information, which clouds the rest of it after that, and before you know it, it kind of snowballs to where I'm like, wait, what? Who?
What happened?
And you can tell when that happens when I'll play it as a player.
Well, I turned it around somehow in Baltimore, apparently.
What? Congratulations.
45 turns until full loyalty. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe they'll...
So you really turned it around then.
So yeah, maybe we'll, I don't know. Full loyalty at 110 turns. So things are very turmoil. Things are going rough in Baltimore still, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's going back to full loyalty, which is where you want it to be.
I can go and attack your... I could probably kill your scout if I really wanted to. Yeah, that would be pretty easy.
No, you can't. Oh my god, I just ran into barbarians. Trying to be a smart ass and be like, no, you can't. And...
Yoink! Oh, shit!
Wait, can I go back? Can I go back? I want to go back. Dude, he might be dead.
I told you I could kill your scout.
Without doing anything. That, sir, is what we call a 1.
You rolled a natural 1.
I retreat. Roll your die. And 1. There was actually, if we were rolling dice, I found one. So you've never actually played where you get the pleasure of rolling actual dice.
I have, actually. I did a one-shot with my WoW raiding guild when we went to BlizzCon. It's probably now like 4 years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I played a barbarian, which is why I chose a barbarian for this one, because I had a lot of fun.
Well, it's fun, and you're gonna have.
Yeah, I think he started us off at level 5 because I definitely had 2 attacks. I had rage, but I didn't have a whole lot of different things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty neat. I definitely enjoyed it, and I definitely wanted to play it again. But I didn't really ever have a good opportunity after that to really play again. So
it's really hard to find a good group that you can play with.
Yeah. And that's what I've heard a lot is, if you find a good group, you definitely want to do everything you can to stay within that group and keep them
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's even like something Brian and I like. That's the hardest thing is you go through and you wanna have the right PC group, because if people can't play with each other, it's not fun.
Right.
If my play style greatly differs from yours, or Grendel's or Merrick's or whoever, it just doesn't. It's not fun for guys.
Right.
And so that was the thing that even Brian and I talked about a lot, was we actually think we have right group mix, if that makes sense.
Right, and it can be sort of dangerous, I guess is what I would say, to add additional people when you have a good group. And I think 4, is a pretty good number. That means there's not too much prep for the DM, in terms of setting the stage for all these battles on all the different options there are. And I think he's done a good job of keeping that balanced and helping us have a good time.
Yeah, he's done a very good balance. The hard part is always going to be like, what, for example, if you can't make it this Tuesday?
Right.
Okay, so do we postpone? Do we play without you? Or, and this is where it can get really tricky, do we add a replacement player for one game?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you can always run a player as a as an NPC for that game. And just where one of the players can play it, or the DM can just play it, but that's not necessarily ideal.
Well, and then it also becomes difficult too. Like, for example, and I'm gonna make some assumptions here, but I think you'll understand. like, okay, we just ended off where they're like, is that Krench the Wrench? You're probably pretty integral to the next session. So if you can't make it, how does he allow this to go forward? Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. How's America doing over there?
Oh, we're doing all right. Sure, we'll do that. Go right there. But yeah, I mean, ultimately we'll have to see. I kind of, a lot of my experience is based on watching Critical Role, and they do it once a week, and you can tell that that's a pretty good balance for them because they are all massively busy people. Far busier than any of us are. Well, maybe not you. What with your not having a day off.
Well, sorry, I'm like trying to figure out and do math right now. Yeah, it's for the most part, it's not going to be an issue for me getting the time to play. It just happened to be we were finishing this massive project that involved very complicated components that we're more than capable of doing. We just haven't done it before, so it added a difficulty component, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, um, so I mean, also I don't know if you know it. I do set construction for like TV shows and movies and trade shows.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun. It's different. And so on this one, we just went through and finished doing a project for Google. I can't say what we did for them, but I did something for Google. Unfortunately, due to silly non-disclosure agreements and whatnot.
Sure.
But it turned out like amazing and awesome, and unfortunately, to get it done on time with the quality we wanted, it required us to pull in those crazy days where I was at work at 5 or 6 in the morning and I didn't get off till 9 or 10 at night.
Yeah.
So.
Sometimes you just got to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it turned out to be okay, and
whatever it takes.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up a very, very fat paycheck tomorrow. So.
Nice.
Yeah, it
definitely makes the payday sweeter.
It really does. But the drawback to my job too is like I just finished doing those crazy hours, and if there's no work next week, then I don't work.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when you get those paychecks, you just let me take some of this, let me throw it in savings, and just so that way, if it ever happens, I'm good.
Yeah, keep it for a rainy day. But anyway, the point about Critical Role is these guys, massively busy, and but they seem to be able to play it once a week, and that's enough that they definitely seem to enjoy it. But it's definitely not too much on their busy schedules, and so I do think that's a good balance for us. I'm super eager to play because it's new and it's fresh and it's really fun. I would play 5 days a week if our schedules aligned for that and we were able to do it.
Yeah.
But we can't, and that's fine for now. I'll live for the moment, and it's gonna be what's gonna be difficult for me personally is that our general plan is to prioritize Heroes of the Storm when we go back into the NGS season over D&D. Yeah. And that's going to be sad for me because we're only going to play D&D every other week when the season starts.
When does that season start?
I don't know the exact date. I could look it up, but we're still in the playoff season, so like this current season isn't even finishing for another couple weeks. So and then there'll be some downtime between the seasons, so that's down the road. But yeah, I'm gonna be like, I think I think we should only skip it for NGS if we like absolutely have to do NGS that week. Like there's no other option. But I don't know. We'll see. It's up to the team as a whole, and I have a commitment more to the team than I do to the D&D group because that's
Right.
where we're all coming from. So
Yeah, exactly, and that's certainly understandable.
right. But yeah, I'll definitely be sad if we have to take weeks off of D&D though. I'll definitely miss it. But hopefully that just doesn't that doesn't happen too often.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get maybe do 3 out of 4 in a month. But
Well, then the
we'll
fun
see.
thing too also is even when we finish with this, I have a feeling Brian normally like the DM after he finishes the beginning stages of his campaign, so like he has an idea where this is going. And it's probably going to get if I had to guess, 7th level, roughly. And at that
He
point,
told
he
me
might.
actually.
Oh,
Has he not talked about that with you?
he might have, and I just don't remember.
Yeah, he
Hold on.
thinks we'll get to about somewhere between level 7 and level 10.
Okay.
And he even told me the number of sessions that he thought we would probably end up doing.
Yeah, actually, I think he did post it in Discord.
What happened to Rewind tonight? Oh, no, when did he post that?
He posted that earlier.
Oh, 8:41. We had started it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's watching, I think.
He probably is.
He's just lurking. He's not saying anything.
So he guesses this campaign will last 10 to 15 sessions and will get us to level 7 to 10.
Yeah. And that's, that's a good, couple of months at least, 2 or 3. So
yeah.
that's a pretty good run. Good.
So the question then becomes,
then what do we do after that?
Do we continue with this campaign? Do we just take a breather from D&D? Or does somebody else start their own campaign? And even furthermore, do they even run the D&D, or do we run a different system? These are all, questions that we'll have to answer.
Yeah, we'll have to figure it out. But we don't have to figure it out tonight.
No, we didn't. I actually, like I told Brian, since we started getting back into playing D&D and even just discussing it, because we were all discussing it for what, 2 weeks prior?
Yeah.
Roughly?
Yeah, more or less.
There's a campaign that I've always wanted.
Yeah.
Which I've expanded on, so forth, and I'd be fine with running it. But it would definitely require everybody to learn a new system because it would be takes modern day.
Let's see.
So, have you done a world?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking in random stuff because I don't really care.
Yeah, this one.
I can barely read it from this distance anyway. So why would I care that much? But yeah, I don't know. Ultimately we'll see. We'll see what happens with the future. I like that we already have a couple people that are tuning in every week. That's kind of neat. Because ultimately D&D is storytelling and
yeah.
So it's fun to see people enjoy that story.
Did you see Mongoose's comment?
Yeah. Or do we bring a fantastic new TM and we all become PCs? Yeah, I mean, I was willing to wait until we found a DM, but you just kind of jumped right into the middle of it, Mongoose. You were like, "Let's fucking go!"
Well, I mean, let's face it. He was in Europe, which he's a very, very big history buff.
Ah,
And so just being there, getting all that motivation, like he didn't
yeah.
stand it. I'll tell you right now, he didn't stand a chance. He could absolutely swear up and down he wasn't going to run a session, and it was just too much temptation.
Hashtag inspired.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I even told him, like, when I found out he was going to Europe, I was like, I wonder if this is going to get him motivated to play D&D again.
Yeah.
At the very least, he's going to hit me up about playing Divinity or something like that.
He ended up hitting up me about playing Divinity. God, another world session?
Well, this is an emergency.
Oh. What's going on here?
So, basically, do you want to go to war or not?
Oh. Well, do you want to go to war?
I am voting no on this without a doubt because I am not in a position to go to war with anybody.
Okay.
I'm running on a low difficulty. I am.
Oh, you're cutting out pretty bad, is what you're doing. Failed.
Very excited.
Ooh, barbarian swordsman.
Oh yeah, wait till the barbarians have tanks.
Yeah, no, I remember. I have played this game once before. I remember barbarians having tanks. That was really funny because at that point I was like fully upgraded. You know, I had a whole bunch of. Let's see,
I was playing a game once where
had a whole
the
bunch of like aerial stuff.
barbarian, and it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's funny that they still call them barbarians, even though it's like they're in tanks.
I know.
It's like
I feel like they should call them, like, rename them to like terrorist organizations or something.
right, yeah, that's the terrorists coming at you with the tanks.
Exactly.
You're gonna be like, what kind of D&D campaign are you guys running? Obviously, the terrorists with the tanks. Come on.
Duh.
Oh, horsemen.
So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out exactly where Brian's going to be going with this, our mongoose. It's tough because without having a previous posted detailed history, it's hard to see what's going on. He's probably thinking right now as I'm saying that, yeah, I did that on purpose.
So let's see. What kind of funny religion do we want to give to the Americas? Islamic, Judaism,
Oh, see, if you go farther down,
Shinto.
you can actually create your own.
Yeah,
So one time I was playing with Brian, I did atheism.
yeah. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. Does Mongoose have any questions for us? I wonder.
Ooh, that is, yeah.
Yeah, anything he wants to ask us. But
Or anybody else.
I did want to ask him, like, what was waiting for us in the shadows when Merrick woke up? Like, what?
I highly doubt he's gonna tell us.
Ah, come on! It's beyond that point in the story. There's no harm in telling us.
As being friends with him for over 20 years, I can tell right now he's going through and saying, "Is it?"
I mean, Maybe I'm just taking with you guys.
Which
You know, would put it past you.
legitimately, it is a possibility. There were times even in me as a DM, I would have them roll dice to make perception checks
Oh,
and whatnot, just to make them think there's something out there. So you don't let them get into that sense of, um, oh, he made us roll. There's got to be something out there. You know what I mean?
right. Okay, that's fair. I mean, it's cruel, but it's reasonable, I suppose.
Well, yeah, but otherwise you can go through and
And you're
like
tipped off
if you
every
don't
time there's something, and you know
exactly,
there's something. Yeah, I
then you're
get that.
like, then you're like, oh, you don't hear. Make a perception check. Okay, you don't see anything. Well, I'm gonna wake up the guys. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so now, like, if you do it just there, and it's like you got up, there could be legitimately nothing there, and that's what he was doing, because then you got woken up. You guys went through and looked, and it's like, okay, nothing's there. You know.
Right.
I'm seriously loving the fact that I have double monitors now.
Yeah, it's a really nice upgrade for sure. If you haven't
Yeah.
ever had that before, it's definitely
Well, and the
worth.
worst part is I've probably had the second monitor just sitting here for like since July.
Dude.
And it was just like I had to figure out a way to do it and just not familiar with it and whatnot. And in the end, when I actually fully started looking at it on Tuesday night, when we all started talking about it,
Yeah.
it was like the easiest thing in the world. I was like, oh, all I need to do is get a DVI to HDMI converter cable and I can do this, which I ordered, and instantly that's what happened. So, get away. So, even though I have tomorrow night, I will tell you I'm getting pretty sleepy now.
That's all right. I think this might be a good time for us to take a
Sign
break.
off.
Pretty shortly at least. I don't think we.
Yeah. Leave off somewhere where we know what we're doing when we come back to play this game, but.
Yeah. Well, that might be for me a bit of a stretch. I don't
Well,
know.
looks like you have 4 cities going.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I mean,
only
like I
got.
said, I've played this game before, but I don't really know. You know, like specifically what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just kind of just clicking around and hoping it works out for the most part.
Uh,
Send you back over there. Oh, it looks like this is a barbarian camp. All right. Well, why don't we just go ahead and save the game here, and then we'll come back to it next time.
sounds good.
But hey, thanks for chatting. Stick and
Thanks for having me on here.
hanging out. We'll have this video along with all of our other ReGen D&D content up on our YouTube channel. So hopefully each week we'll be doing on Tuesdays from 6 to 10. We're having our D&D sessions. Session number 3 coming at you this Tuesday, and I can't wait for it. Is it Tuesday yet? No, it's only Thursday. We still got 5 more days to wheel around to that sucker. That's all right. I'm not bitter at all, really. And then
Not at all.
and then it's probably going to be Thursday, Friday, or Saturday that we're doing these rewind episodes. I can't commit to 2 hard and fast scheduled nights a week for D&D at the moment, but it'll be around this time, 8 to 10. If anybody wants to come in and just listen to us talk shop and what our reactions to it were. I don't know about you, but I've been having the time of my life playing D&D so far, so I'm looking forward.
It's always fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what comes next. All right. Well, until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday with our third session.
All right.
Bye, everybody.